Title: The Displacement and Survival of Native American Tribes, the Delaware, Shawnee, Wyandot, Miami, and Description. The experience of Native American tribes in the face of European colonization and subsequent U.S. expansion was one of hardship, resilience, and survival. The Delaware, Shawnee, Wyandot, Miami, and Kickapoo tribes were among those profoundly impacted by forced displacement, land cession, and cultural disruption. Originating from various regions, these tribes faced similar fates in the 18th century as they were compelled to surrender their ancestral lands to the growing United States, reshaping their history and future. Despite the injustices they endured, these tribes have maintained their identities and cultural heritage through generations, and their stories remain vital to understanding America's colonial past. The Delaware Tribe. The Delaware Tribe, also known as the Lenape, were originally from the Delaware Valley, an area that today includes parts of Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Delaware. Their Iroquoian language and culture connected them to the broader Native American world of the Northeast. However, in the 18th century, as European colonists expanded westward, the Delaware were forced to cede their lands to the United States through a series of treaties, often under duress or through deceitful practices. The Delaware's displacement set the stage for their relocation further west into the Ohio Valley and beyond, as they attempted to preserve their community amid growing pressures. The Shawnee Tribe. The Shawnee Tribe, an Algonquian-speaking people, hailed from the Ohio Valley, a region rich in resources and cultural significance. However, like many other tribes, the Shawnee found themselves swept up in the tide of European settlement and American expansion. Throughout the 18th century, the Shawnee resisted U.S. encroachment on their territory, but ultimately, they too were compelled to cede their land. Leaders like Tecumseh rose in prominence during these tumultuous times, organizing resistance efforts, but the Shawnee were eventually displaced, pushed further west as they sought new homes and autonomy. The Wyandot Tribe. Originally from the Great Lakes region, the Wyandot tribe spoke an Iroquoian language and were known for their complex society. They played a significant role in the fur trade, often negotiating between European powers and other native nations. However, the pressures of colonization led to the Wyandots' forced cession of their homeland in the 18th century. As treaties were imposed, the tribe was uprooted and moved westward, contributing to the gradual depopulation of their ancestral lands around the Great Lakes. The Miami Tribe. The Miami tribe, also of Algonquian-speaking origin, occupied the Great Lakes region, primarily in what is now Indiana, Ohio, and Illinois. Known for their agricultural practices and strategic alliances, the Miami were a significant force in the Midwest. But like the Delaware and Shawnee, the Miami fell victim to the rapid expansion of the United States. In the 18th century, through a series of treaties, the Miami were coerced into ceding their lands, leading to the tribe's relocation. The story of the Miami people is one of tenacity, as they continued to fight for their sovereignty despite the overwhelming forces arrayed against them. The Kickapoo Tribe. The Kickapoo Tribe, originally based in the Great Lakes region, spoke an Algonquian language and shared cultural ties with other tribes of the area. As settlers moved westward, the Kickapoo resisted, engaging in conflict and negotiation to defend their lands. However, like many of their neighbors, they were ultimately forced to cede their land to the United States government. The Kickapoo were relocated multiple times, eventually moving as far as Texas and Mexico in their quest to maintain autonomy and escape U.S. control. A legacy of resistance and resilience. The experiences of the Delaware, Shawnee, Wyandot, Miami, and Kickapoo tribes are emblematic of the broader story of Native American displacement. Each tribe's history is marked by forced removal, but also by resilience. Though driven from their ancestral lands, these tribes maintain their cultural identities and traditions, continuing to fight for their rights, lands, and survival into the present day. Their stories serve as poignant reminders of the costs of American expansion and the ongoing importance of acknowledging and preserving Native American history. The endurance of these tribes speaks to their strength and resilience in the face of overwhelming challenges, ensuring their continued presence and contribution to the cultural fabric of the United States.